All right, let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping wonders of the ancient world, the Egyptian pyramids. Picture this: colossal stone giants rising from the golden sands of the desert, silent sentinels of a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. These aren't just piles of rock, they're time capsules, riddled with secrets that have puzzled historians, scientists, and explorers for centuries. What's beneath them? Why were they built? And how do they connect to everything from cutting-edge science to the mysteries of the cosmos? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a mind-bending journey through history, nature, technology, and even human psychology to uncover the enigma of the Egyptian pyramids and what lies under their ancient foundations. Let's start with the basics, because even the basics here are wild. The most famous pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, was constructed around 4,500 years ago during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. It's one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, and the only one still standing. This thing is massive. Originally standing at 481 feet tall, it was the tallest human-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. That's right. Nothing topped it until the Eiffel Tower came along in the late 19th century. It's made of about 2.3 million limestone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 15 tons. Imagine the logistics of moving that much stone with no trucks, no cranes, just human ingenuity and muscle. But here's where it gets intriguing. The Great Pyramid isn't just big, it's precise. Insanely precise. Its base is almost perfectly square, with each side measuring 756 feet. And the difference between the longest and shortest side is less than 2 inches. That's a margin of error of about 0.01%. For context, if you tried to build something that big and that accurate today with modern tools, you'd still sweat over it. And the pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 3/60th of a degree. How did an ancient civilization pull this off without compasses or GPS? That's the first mystery we're wrestling with, and we're only getting started. Now, let's zoom out and talk about why these pyramids exist in the first place. The Egyptians built them as tombs, monumental resting places for their pharaohs, who they believed were divine beings, living gods destined to ascend to the afterlife. The pyramid shape itself is symbolic. Some scholars think it mimics the rays of the sun beaming down to earth, connecting the pharaoh to the sun god Ra. Others say it represents the primordial mound, the first land that emerged from the chaos of creation in Egyptian mythology. Either way, these weren't just graves, they were cosmic launch pads, designed to catapult the pharaoh's soul into eternity. But what's beneath them? That's the question that keeps us up at night. For centuries, people assumed the pyramids were solid with just a few chambers inside, like the king's chamber and queen's chamber in the Great Pyramid. But recent discoveries have flipped that idea on its head. In 2017, a team using cosmic ray detectors, space-age tech, found something incredible: a massive void above the Grand Gallery nicknamed the Big Void. It's at least 100 feet long, and no one knows what it's for. Is it a structural feature to relieve pressure from the millions of tons of stone? A secret chamber packed with treasures? Or something we can't even fathom yet? The fact that we're still finding new spaces in a structure studied for millennia is mind-blowing. Let's unpack that cosmic ray tech for a second, because it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. These detectors track muons, subatomic particles created when cosmic rays from outer space hit Earth's atmosphere. Muons pass through everything, but they slow down when they hit dense material like stone. By measuring how many muons make it through the pyramid, scientists can map out hidden cavities. It's like giving the pyramid an X-ray, except the rays come from exploding stars billions of miles away. So, in a way, the mysteries of space are helping us unlock the mysteries beneath the pyramids. How cool is that? Speaking of space, let's talk about the pyramid's cosmic connection. The three main pyramids at Giza, Khufu's, Khafra's, and Menkaur's, aren't just randomly placed. They're aligned in a way that mirrors the three stars of Orion's belt, a constellation tied to Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife. This theory, called the Orion correlation, suggests the Egyptians designed Giza as a map of the heaven. The Nile River even aligns with the Milky Way in this cosmic blueprint. Coincidence? Maybe. But when you add that the pyramid shafts point to specific stars, like Sirius, linked to the goddess Isis, it starts feeling intentional. Were the Egyptians stargazers mapping the universe in stone? It's a tantalizing idea that bridges astronomy and archaeology. Now, let's dig into what's physically under the pyramids, because the ground beneath them is just as fascinating as the structures above. Beneath the Giza Plateau lies a sprawling network of tunnels, chambers, and aquifers. In 2011, archaeologists uncovered an underground labyrinth near the Pyramid of Amenemhat-Idarth at Hawara, about 60 miles south of Giza. Ancient Greek historian Herodotus wrote about this place over 2,000 years ago, describing a maze with 3,000 rooms, half above ground, half below. He called it more impressive than the pyramids themselves. Modern scans using ground-penetrating radars suggest he wasn't exaggerating. There's a vast complex down there, possibly a necropolis or ceremonial site, still waiting to be fully explored. But it's not just man-made wonders under the pyramids. Nature's been busy too. The Giza Plateau sits on a limestone bedrock, riddled with natural caves and water channels. Some researchers think these underground streams, remnants of a wetter, greener Egypt, might have been used to float massive stones during construction. Picture this: thousands of workers guiding limestone blocks on rafts through subterranean rivers, all to build a pharaoh's tomb. It's a wild image, and it ties the pyramids to the Earth's geological past in a way we rarely consider. Let's shift gears to the human side of this story, because the pyramids aren't just about stone and stars. They're about people. How did the Egyptians build these things? For a long time, popular culture pushed the idea of slaves toiling under the whip, but that's a myth. Evidence from workers' villages near Giza, like the one excavated in the 1990s, shows these builders were skilled laborers, not slaves. They lived in organized settlements, ate well, think beef and bread, not gruel, and were buried with honor near the pyramids. Papyrus records from the time of Khufu even list their wages, paid in beer and bread. These weren't oppressed masses, they were a workforce proud to serve their god-king. But the psychology behind it is what grabs me. Why dedicate your life to stacking stones for a ruler's afterlife? It's about belief, unshakable faith in a cosmic order where the pharaoh's journey to the stars ensured the world kept turning. This wasn't blind obedience, it was purpose. The Egyptians saw death not as an end but as a transition, and the pyramids were the ultimate expression of that worldview. Compare that to today, where we're often obsessed with the here and now. Their mindset feels alien, yet it drove one of humanity's greatest achievements. Let's talk tech. Ancient tech, that is. How do you move a 15-ton block without a forklift? The Egyptians likely used ramps, sledges, and a lot of elbow grease. Archaeologists have found ramp remains near some pyramids, sloping up gradually to haul stones into place. They'd pour water on the sand to reduce friction, turning it into a slick track for sledges. Simple, but brilliant. And those perfectly cut blocks, copper tools hardened with heat, plus endless patience, did the trick. No lasers, no aliens, just human problem-solving on a scale we can barely wrap our heads around. But here's a curveball. Some of the stones under the pyramids predate the pharaohs. Geologists studying the Sphinx enclosure right next to the Great Pyramid found weathering patterns suggesting it was carved during a rainy period, possibly 7,000 years ago, long before Khufu's time. If true, it means parts of Giza were sacred before the pyramids were even a glimmer in a pharaoh's eye. What's down there from that older era? Lost temples? Forgotten tombs? It's a rabbit hole that keeps getting deeper. Now, let's explore the treasures, or lack thereof, beneath the pyramids. When Howard Carter cracked open Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, the world got a taste of pharaonic wealth. Gold masks, chariots, jeweled coffins, but the Great Pyramid? Empty. Robbed long ago, or maybe never filled. Its chambers held a simple granite sarcophagus, nothing else. Yet legends persist of hidden riches. In the 9th century, Caliph al-Ma'mun tunneled into the Great Pyramid hoping for gold. He found nothing but disappointment. Still, the idea of secret vaults lingers, fueled by that big void and tales of undiscovered chambers. Could there be a jackpot waiting under Giza, or is the real treasure the knowledge we're still chasing? Let's pivot to science again, because the pyramids keep throwing curveballs at modern researchers. In 2018, physicists noticed something odd. The Great Pyramid focuses electromagnetic energy, like radio waves, into its chambers. It's not a power plant, sorry conspiracy fans, but a quirk of its shape and materials. Limestone and granite stacked just right act like a lens for certain frequencies. This accidental discovery hints at how much we still don't understand about its design. Were the Egyptians aware of this? Probably not. But it's a reminder that ancient builders stumbled into principles we're only now grasping. Back to the underground, because we can't ignore the creepier side. Beneath the Pyramid of Djoser, at Saqqara, the oldest stone pyramid, lies a warren of tunnels and shafts. One, the Serapeum, holds massive granite sarcophagi, some weighing 70 tons, carved with eerie precision. They're empty now, but they were likely for sacred Apis bulls, worshipped as divine. The effort to drag those boxes underground, in near darkness, for a bull's burial is haunting. It's a glimpse into a culture where the line between life, death, and the divine was razor thin. Let's zoom out to nature again. The pyramids sit in a desert now, but 5,000 years ago, Giza was lush. Rivers, grasslands, wildlife. Fossilized bones of hippos and crocodiles have been found nearby, proof of a lost ecosystem. The Nile was closer too. It's annual floods feeding the workforce and floating stones. Climate change, natural, not human-made, shifted the sands over millennia, burying that green Egypt. What else got buried with it? Maybe clues to older civilizations locked beneath the plateau. Now let's wrestle with the big one. How old are the pyramids really? Mainstream archaeology pegs the Great Pyramid to around 4,500 years ago, but fringe theories push it back further. The Sphinx is weathering, those pre-Pharaoh stones. It's enough to make you wonder if Giza's story starts earlier than we think. Could an even older culture have left something under there later claimed by the pharaohs? It's speculative, but it keeps the mystery alive. Human psychology pops up again when we talk about our obsession with the pyramids. Why are we so hooked? It's not just their size, it's the unknown. They're a puzzle we can't solve, a mirror to our curiosity and ego. Every discovery, like that big void, feeds our need to crack the code. It's why explorers risk their lives tunneling inside, why scientists keep scanning, why you're still listening. The pyramids tap into something primal, our drive to conquer the incomprehensible. Let's wrap this up with a bang, literally. In 1837, explorer Colonel Howard Vyse blasted his way into the Great Pyramid with dynamite, chasing hidden chambers. He found some, but his methods were brutal. Today, we're gentler, using drones, robots, and muon detectors. Yet the question lingers. What's left to find? Under Giza's Saqqara Hawara, tunnels, voids, maybe even answers to questions we haven't asked yet. The pyramids aren't done with us. They've stood for millennia, guarding their secrets, daring us to keep looking.